Hey guys, Big Nate 84 here, and welcome to another video in my Live Sound 101 video series. Do the best you can with what you have. This is a very important concept for a live sound person, whether you're working for a non-profit organization, a house of worship, or whether you're working in a high-end broadcast studio or recording studio. It's very important to understand this concept of just doing the best you can with what you have, and it can be a challenge sometimes, but I think this truth, this universal truth, applies whether you have a $500 budget, a $5,000 budget, or a $50,000 budget. Recently, I went down to Florida to visit some family, and we went to a massive church down there. I'm from New England, so this church was huge, and it was called Christ Fellowship. Maybe you've heard of it. And I always, being a live sound guy, like to plant myself right behind the soundboard if I can, just to kind of get a view of what they're doing and how I can improve what I'm doing back home, and just kind of compare what's going on. And these guys clearly have a much larger budget than we do. The equipment that they have is unbelievable. They've got this real-time frequency spectrum analyzer going on a computer screen, so you can see what's happening at the whole frequency spectrum from 20 hertz to 20k hertz. They've got all kinds of video equipment, video production going on, and it's just really cool to see a larger scale production in what they're doing. And it just reminded me that when I go home, to just do the best I can with what I've been given. And it's challenging because you see what other people are doing and you want to do that and strive for excellence and for great sound quality. But on the other hand, you can only do so much with what you have. So kind of building on this idea that you want to do the best you can with what you have, you never want to get to a point where you think you've seen it all, you've done it all, you're locked into your ways, you've got a system down, and you're going to just do that for the next 20 years. You always want to be asking questions, looking at what other people are doing, what other larger organizations are doing, and chat it up with somebody from a different organization. See what they're doing. Ask what their difficulties are. What are they doing well? What are their struggles? And you always want to be growing professionally and keeping a good attitude about your work and what you're doing. And you never want to take on well, I've been doing live sound for 10 years, so I'm good. I know what I'm doing. At least this is my opinion. I think it's a good idea to keep an open mind, ask a lot of questions, and see what other people are doing, to find out ways that you can improve your setup or your system. And maybe you've never thought of those ways before. So that's another thing I would recommend to you, especially as beginners. You guys are going to be asking tons of questions. But even if you've been doing it for a while, I always enjoy chatting with other live sound techs. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. It was less on the technical side and more on the learning development side. And anyway, let me know what you think, and stay tuned for the next one.